Welcome to SPF Talk, the show that brings you the inside scoop on the SPF and Polyurea industries. Hi, I'm Jay Davidson, CEO of Spray Foam Insider. Our topic today is SPFA Accreditation and Certification. For those of you who are new to the industry, SPFA stands for Spray Polyurethane Foam Alliance. My guest today is Bonnie Strickler. She is the president of PUFF and the chair for the SPFA Professional Certification Program, also referred to as PCP. For those of you who haven't heard of PUFF, it stands for Polyurethane Foam Fabricators. Good morning, Bonnie.
Hi, Jay.
Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. I want to start out with a question for you, and that question is, can you tell us about the SPFA's mission?
Yes, SPFA is a nonprofit, member-based trade association which has members that are contractors, suppliers, consultants, and anyone else who serves the SPF industry. SPFA is a leading SPFA leader with all the companies in the United States and abroad. We also have a strong relationship with other groups such as the American Chemical Council, NRCA, and we also work very closely with our federal agencies like EPA, NIOSH, and OSHA, just to name a few.
Thank you so much. It sounds like SPFA is like the major organization for SPF.
Yeah, that's correct. It's right. We're the only trade association that is solely for the spray polyurethane foam contractor and industry.
Thank you. Can you explain the difference between accreditation and certifications? I know a lot of people get those two confused.
Yep, and that's very true, and it's very hard to differentiate, but I'll give you the easy answer. Mm-hmm. We certify individuals or people and employees, and we accredit companies. So that's the easiest way to keep those separated.
Oh, thank you for clearing that up. Okay, can you tell us the difference between SPFA's certification and the manufacturer certification?
Good question. SPFA is an ISO 17024 compliant, internationally recognized, third-party, verifiable certification. That's a lot of words.
It is.
Mainly,
yes.
We're saying it's done independently. Most of your manufacturer certifications, they vary greatly. Mm-hmm. But most of them are they're not third-party verified, mm-hmm. and they're also don't require any training or testing or any proof of the individual's knowledge or skills or abilities. They're really more of an approved applicator or a qualified applicator program, really, than the word certified.
Thank you for clarifying that. I appreciate it. What kind of companies does the SPFA accredit?
Well, the biggest one that we use the most of is obviously for our contractor base. So we have company accreditation for contractors, and we also offer company accreditation for our supplier base.
Okay. And what other than contractors, what other individuals does SPFA certify?
We have certification programs currently for our supplier organizations, so other supplier reps can become certified, mm-hmm. and also our field examiners can become certified as well.
Very good. Can the same person hold both the PCP, Certification Project Manager, and the PCP Master Installer?
Yep, he sure can. And actually, an individual can hold as many certifications as they want. We've got a couple people that have 8 or 9 certifications. As long as you meet the qualifications and the criteria for each individual certification mm-hmm. level, you can be certified in as many categories as you'd like.
Thank you. SPFA has, I know they have just so many certifications. Can you tell us about some of the differences in those certifications?
Yeah, it is a complex program because we were trying to develop a program that fit our industry. And since our industry is so diverse, mm-hmm. And we have new contractors and older contractors, it became a little hectic and hard to understand. But the simple way to look at it is we mainly have 2 tracks. One is a certification path for roofing, and the other certification path is for insulation. And under each one of those paths, we have 4 levels of certification. Level 1 is assistant. Level 2 is installer. Level 3 is master installer. And then our 4th level is project manager. And those are in each roofing and insulation.
I'm glad that you clarified that, because there is a big distinction between roofing and insulation for application.
Yes, we have some contractors that only do one or the other, and a few do both.
So, for example, for people who are new to the industry, just because they know how to apply SPF to a roof doesn't necessarily mean they know how to apply it for interior walls.
That is correct.
Okay, so...
And vice versa. There's a lot of people that do only inside work.
Okay, so that's an important distinction. Okay, and what are the different skill levels for each of these? I know that's a big question, but let's just take assistant, for example. What kind of skills are needed there?
Yeah, our system being level 1 is actually no real skills are required or experience, but you would need to have the basic knowledge of foam chemistry, and safety, both chemistry and job site. So that's our entry level, level 1. We feel everyone should have those, knowledge and skills, because that's what keeps a safe workplace.
Okay, and how about the installer?
Yep, the installer is for our up-and-coming sprayers. They're like the sprayers that are just learning, or they don't have a whole lot of square feet or board feet under their belt yet. So, for instance, an installer would become certified once he reached the 100,000 either board feet or square feet. Board feet for insulation, square feet for roofing. And that's of gun experience.
Oh, okay, so that's hands-on.
That's hands-on, correct.
Okay, and then the master installer.
That same principle, except now he's obviously an experienced sprayer, i.e. master. So he knows all the details about spraying. He doesn't have to be supervised every moment. He knows the installation projects. He knows how to work on the equipment. He's equipped to do proper inspections to make sure the work's correct. He knows how to troubleshoot problems on the roof. And this level does require, it's the only level that requires an over-the-shoulder exam, meaning they actually have to demonstrate that they know the things that we've already tested them on in a written exam.
Okay.
They have to spray for it then.
Yes, so that way you make sure that they are qualified.
That is correct.
Very good. And then we're at project manager.
Yep. The last level is project manager. His job is to manage projects, and he would need a minimum of 500,000 board feet for insulation or square feet for roofing. He has the knowledge of all the lower levels, but he also knows things like building codes, building science, estimating, picking the proper material selection. He does not have to be a sprayer. That's one of the misnomers is you do not have to be a sprayer. He does not have to conduct that field spray. He can be a sprayer and hold both, but he does not need to be.
Oh, okay. Thank you. That's really clearing up a lot of questions that I've had, and I'm sure others have had too. Let's go to my next question, which is, can you tell us how companies can obtain accreditation and the benefits associated with that?
Yeah. Basically, for a company to become accredited, you would register into the program just like the individuals do, and then you would submit documentation. Of course, everything has paperwork to go along with it, and that's just to prove that these are legitimate companies. In other words, not just a cell phone number that somebody's answering in a pickup truck. So they submit good work practices, they proof that they are a business, proof of insurance, proof that they have a written safety program. In other words, we just want to confirm that this company is truly a company. Then the second thing he has to do is he has to employ a certain number of certified individuals. So to give you an example, we tried to make this a sliding scale so it would fit for the small company as well as the largers. So it's in tiers. To give you an example, the first tier is 1 to 10 employees in the field, and this is strictly for spray foam. So if you're doing multi-things, it's not the fiberglass guys or the sheet rubber guys. It's just the foam crew. So if you employ 1 to 10 people in that category, you would need to employ 1 project manager and 1 either master installer or regular installer. So that's not a huge amount of people required to have a company accredited as long as you meet the criteria.
Very good. Thank you. Can you tell us where we can find more information about how to become certified or accredited?
Yep, sure can. Easiest thing to do in today's world is let's go to that SPFA website, and on the top you'll see a tab called Certification, and once you open that tab, it gives you a drop-down box for all the different levels, all the different certifications, and all the accreditation. Each time you click on one of those tabs, it will actually take you to a handbook about that particular certification, and then it'll also give you all the forms and everything you need to know to become certified in that category.
Bonnie, can you give us the website for those who perhaps are new and maybe have not heard of SPFA?
Yes, it is www.sprayfoam.org.
Thank you.
That's www.sprayfoam.org.
Great. Okay, and what's the application process entail?
Well, the first thing you'd want to do once you've looked at the website is determine what level you want to become certified at. Remember, this is like eating an elephant. You can do it one bite at a time. You don't have to go all the way to project manager to begin with. So
sounds good.
Read through there and see which level fits your particular needs, because if an owner's looking at it, he's going to have a different need than a brand new sprayer. So look and see which level you'd like to go to. Read the handbook. It'll tell you exactly what you need to do. It goes into great detail. All the forms you'll need will be in there. But the first thing to do is grab the checklist. We made a really simple, easy-to-read checklist so that you know these are the 5 or 10 or 20 things I need to do. They obviously all start out with documentation because you've got to do the paperwork. And then once you get the paperwork done, it explains which exams you need to take, both written or in the field. And then there's a few things at the end, like send us a photo. So it gives you an idea. If you want to prep for this, you can also get some exam prep course materials, and so you can self-study. You do not have to have any formal training to take the exam.
I think that's wonderful that people can get prep course materials in advance and they can study at their own pace.
Yes.
Great. Okay.
They're very, very comprehensive manuals. They're pretty big.
I like that. If I were doing it, I'd like that self-study. Okay. Does SPFA offer any exam preps or written exams in the Spanish language?
Yes, we are currently working on that as we speak. But as of right now, we have an assistant webinar that's available in English and in Spanish, and both of those come with a study guide, so it's in English or Spanish. We also have the exams for assistant installer and master installer available in Spanish as well.
Fantastic. What are some of the benefits of having a certification or accreditation?
Well, that's kind of a different answer for each company, but, pretty much it differentiates you from your competitor or gets you a place up, step up in the ranking of all your people around you, because it shows that a company, to become accredited, has employed a bunch of people that are certified that have the knowledge and the skills, and the abilities to work on a safe job site and to do a good job. And whenever you do that, you work safely and you work well by doing everything right, it's just going to raise the bar completely for our entire industry and show much more professionalism. So I think it's probably a differentiator to show that you are a company that's doing the best they can in this industry.
And I think that customers would appreciate knowing that people are SPFA certified or accredited.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's really kind of what drives it, is the end user wants that contractor, and this is one way he can tell if they're certified or accredited.
So this really is a great marketing tool on just so many levels.
Yeah, it really is.
Okay. And the other thing is people can document their certifications and accreditations so that if they ever needed to, they could prove that they have been through these through the exams and have passed and have these certifications and accreditations.
Absolutely, yes. It's, we know that's the difference in certification. Somebody just kicking a tire on the car and inspecting it, is that's what certification is supposed to be. Proof that the person has the knowledge and the skills and the ability.
I think
that's what the third party does. It proves we know they know it because they took the exam and they answered the question correctly, or they showed us by spraying. So if they do it wrong in the field later, they can't say, I didn't know that.
Yes.
We know they know that because we tested them on it.
Very good. That is wonderful. Well, let's talk a moment about the cost for accreditation and certification. Now, are these costs different, or what can you tell me about how the costs are attributed to each?
Yep, that's probably the biggest question we get, believe it or not. Everybody thinks it costs, $4,000 to become certified. I've heard that number so many times, it's crazy.
And so have I.
Yeah, every level is different, so I'll kind of give you the skinny on it.
Okay.
All individuals have to register in the program. That's a one-time fee, $50. And I'm going to quote member pricing, which is the discounted pricing. So an individual registers in the program, that's $250.
Okay.
Assistant, the exam for the assistant, the written exam is $200. So an assistant can become certified for $450, not $4,000.
Oh, a big difference.
Installer, same registration fee. The exam is $250, so that would be a total of $500. A master installer, same registration fee. His exam is $300 plus the field exam, which we have been fortunate enough to offer for free at Spray Foam for the last several years, and expect to hopefully do so in the future, as well as some of our field examiners, also do it at a discounted price. So if it was zero, it would be $550.
Well, you just
if
can't.
you had to pay the exam, it would be more, but most people don't pay for it. We figured a way to a way for them to take it so they don't have to pay for it. We try to keep it on the low side. And then a project manager, the highest level we have, is the same $250 registration. Exams $350, so it's $600. So the skinny is an assistant for $450, an installer for $500, a master at $550, and a project manager for $600.
Okay.
So that's not thousands.
No, and this is yes. This seems much more practical, and considering the value that you can get, this is just so worth it. What about the cost for accreditation?
Yeah, same principle. On accreditation, it's $350 registration fee. And that's pretty much it. That's the only thing, plus the paperwork, and of course you employ the certified individuals. So.
All right. And does do you have to be a member of SPFA in order to get the accreditation or certifications?
Absolutely not. SPFA, PCP certifications and accreditations are open to our entire industry. The members get the benefit of obviously lower fees. So everything is cheaper if you're a member. So joining sometimes for the small company is much more economical than to join SPFA and get the discounted PCP cost. But we are open to the entire industry. It's third-party independent.
That's great. So there's just no reason not to do it.
No, not really.
Okay, the way companies perform, it's a reflection on the industry as a whole, both good and bad. So, how do you think that the SPFA PCP plays a role in this scenario?
Well, we developed it, and we were hoping that it would be, because the SPFA PCP is a third-party ISO 17024, compliant certification program. They would have the credentials and the ability to show that we can prove that these people have the knowledge and can work on these jobs safely, as I said earlier. So, and companies that employ those individuals and they have good business practices, all those things have just got to raise our bar. And we did this at the request of our membership and our supplier base, wanting to raise the bar of our entire industry and show that there are people out there that are doing the job correctly and are certifiable.
That's so important. Yeah. What would you say to contractors who believe that accreditation or certifications are just not necessary because the state they live and work in just doesn't require them?
Yep, that's a good point. If you're in a company and you're just booming with work and you're doing it great and you've got a client base and you don't need to be differentiated from your company next door, I guess I can't say there's any reason to do it. But there's not very many of those around. So I'd say the majority of our contractors need to do this because it's a good marketing tool. It just shows that you've got value. You take value in your company. You take value in your employees. You take value in what your customers want. So I think it sets you a little bit above the competition. So
yes, and also, like we mentioned earlier, if a legal issue would ever arise, that contractor could pull out their documentations in the form of accreditation and certifications to protect themselves.
Absolutely. That's the one reason the suppliers like it so well is because we have proof that they know how they were supposed to put it down, and if they didn't, it was, operator error, if you know what I'm saying. But we know they know better because you know how it is when something goes wrong, everybody points fingers at each other, and the first thing you say is, I didn't know that. Well, you can't say that because we tested you and you answered the question correctly.
Yes, so those should be proudly displayed.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
Bonnie, I want to thank you for joining us and for providing us with an understanding of how SPFA has accreditations and certifications, how people can obtain those, and the benefits of having them. And the website again for my listeners is www.sprayfoam.org. Thank you for listening with us today on SPF Talk. This is Jay Davidson, CEO of Spray Foam Insider, the show that cuts through the jargon, gets to the point, and saves you time and money. If you would like to be a guest on our show, contact us at info@sprayfoaminsider.com.